it's headquartered in the UK. They take care of all the procurement and logistics. They pack all the boxes.
Okay.
They arrange for all the shipping, and we raise the funds. And the other organizations are fundraising organizations, basically.
And we also have people from the United States that are called SRTs, which is Shelter Box Response Team people.
Okay.
And they go with the boxes. They take off, like there's several in Haiti now, or just came back from Haiti. So they go from all over the world, but we have some right based in the United States, and they go off and make sure that the equipment gets to the people.
Okay, so this is how much St. Martha's has actually
Yeah, this was their
raised.
2007, 2008, 2009, how
Okay.
much they raised. And then they keep a tally as they go through the year. And the kids, they're over $20,000 for this one school in 4 years. I mean, so they've had boxes that went to Swaziland.
Okay.
They've had boxes go to China. They had boxes go to Nigeria. So they've had, they've been able to help people around the world by sending these boxes.
Which is a really incredible experience for youth to have the experience of
It
being able
is.
to give back
Yeah.
to people who don't actually live in our country.
Right.
There's mosquito netting, there's ponchos, there's dishes and pots and pans, and a water purification system so that they can, a family of 10 can have pure water for up to a year. There is a cook stove that comes, and it works on any kind of fuel. And so people can be cooking right outside their tent for their family also. Children's activity kit, keep kids busy, and bedding. The most important probably for survival really is the shelter itself.
Okay.
And the water purification.
Great.
Those are the two things besides food that people can't really do without.
Right. And how long can people actually live in the shelter box?
Well, it's designed for 6 months, but we have found people living 2 to 3 years after a disaster in the tents. They're very sturdy tents, and sometimes the shelter is actually better than the shelter they were living in before.
Amazing. And they're waterproof.
They are waterproof, yes.
Great. Well, let's take a look inside.
Sure.
Okay, so how big is this tent? What are we talking here?
The tent itself is 14 feet by 14 feet.
Okay.
And it's for up to 10 people, a family of 10. We have ground cloths, which is what you're looking at right here. This is waterproof, so on the back.
Yeah.
All right, so in case there was any kind of moisture, it keeps the people dry. And
Great.
then there are these kind of sleeping bags that people are sleeping in. So
And I see
for
that
warmth.
they're actually fleece lined
Yes.
to keep them actually warmer.
Right.
Okay.
Now, there's separate rooms. There's actually 3 rooms in the tent. So there's the main area.
Okay.
And then we just set up one of the rooms over here.
Okay.
This would zip down.
Great.
And this could be a separate area.
Okay.
Could be for babies.
Okay.
Could be for separate family.
Okay.
Grandma, grandpa. So this gives separation. So there's actually 3 parts if they would like it.
Okay, and we have some ventilation here.
Yes, there's ventilation.
Terrific.
We also provide tools for people in case they want to either, they may want to be rummaging through the remains of their house, or they may want to use them for rebuilding.
Okay.
Or for digging a garden. There's shovels, there's hammers, saws, all sorts of equipment for people to use.
Amazing. Okay, so in terms of how many people can actually stay in one shelter box, what are we talking? 6, 10?
10 people, we
10
say.
people
Up to
max.
10 people max.
Okay, terrific. And this is an area that they would stay in at night primarily, or?
During the day and at night. I mean, it is a shelter from the elements, from the sun, from the hot sun,
Right.
from the rain during the rainy season. Very important that we get a lot of tents to Haiti before the rainy season.
Before the rainy, and when does the rainy season actually start?
They say around May, so we
In
need
May.
to make sure people are housed before May.
And how many have actually gone out from this area
There's,
so far?
well, from the whole shelter box, 5,000.
5,000. Okay.
All right, I don't have an exact count from the U.S.
Right.
We're getting funds in all the time. Lots of schools, lots of clubs are actively engaged in fundraising.
How many more do you expect you'll be sending out?
We
That's
don't know right now.
really dependent upon availability
Okay.
of the equipment,
Okay.
how fast we can get tents and how many we can get.
Okay.
As you can imagine, everybody is clamoring for tents right now to send to Haiti, so I don't know how many tents are even left on the open market. We do have a very good relationship with the company that makes these tents, and they usually go out of their way to find us tents and to get us more tents.
Okay, come on inside. I
all right.
think we'll we'll talk a little bit more from in here.
That's fine.
So, what exactly is the crises like in Haiti right now?
Well, I haven't been there, but we have people who have been out on a lot of disasters. We had a gentleman who was in the tsunami in 2004, and he says this was actually worse in his mind when he got down there than the tsunami was. So, I mean, just, everyone saw the pictures of the tsunami. We see the pictures from Haiti. I mean, it's not a pretty picture down there. They've lost all of their infrastructure. Buildings have collapsed all over the place. Hospitals are down. They used our first tents to use them for recovery rooms out of the hospitals because they had no place to go. So we have pictures that you will see where they actually had people in these tents recovering.
People who have lost limbs.
People lost limbs they were banged up, but you can see them in bandages. You see there's a little boy who's had a leg amputated, and he's sitting there on the bed in the tent playing with one of the activity kits. I mean, it's really bad.
It's a crisis.
It is.
One of the worst crises we've had in a really long time.
It is.
And do you think the children here, the youth here, can really begin to understand what their efforts are going towards?
I don't know if they can fully understand it. I mean, you have to realize, most of us have never been through anything even close to this. And most people have never seen anything like this. So they see the pictures, they can sort of imagine, but I think until you actually see somebody experience something like this, or you go into those areas, I think it's really hard to internalize it.
Thank you so much, Journey Corcoran from Shelter Box, my husband Ed Koplos. It is so great to be back at St. Martha's. You are the best. We were here, as you know, last spring and the spring before, and this year we're here at a different time of year, and for a sad reason that we're here, in a way, because something, as you know, has happened in Haiti that is pretty devastating.
Earthquake?
Yes. 7.0 earthquake hit. Very large earthquake.
I don't know how many of you remember, but when we send the boxes out, we also send people called Shelter Box Response Team members with them. These are specially trained individuals who help us get the boxes into the right places in the countries where the disasters happened. They got a phone call 12 minutes after the earthquake telling them they needed to go to Haiti right away. There was a major disaster there. They got on the planes, they went down to the Dominican Republic, they went across land into Haiti, and were in Haiti on Wednesday evening. The earthquake happened on Tuesday, so that's how fast we have to get there.
What would people need in that box if you've lost everything? Food. All right, we don't send food, but we send some other organizations bring the food in. So what we do bring in is a cook stove, okay, which we're going to hold up. We bring in the pots and pans, the wooden spoons for stirring, and dishes for the family to eat in. So when another organization provides the rice or the beans or whatever kind of food they are, people who get the shelter box are able to actually cook for their family instead of just getting food off of a truck and just having to eat ready-made things. They actually can start to get back to normal and start to cook just like your families cook at night. Okay, so good. What else is really needed that comes in a shelter box? Shelter. A tent that can fit up to 10 people. Okay, so some families might be very large. Sometimes it's extended family with grandmas and grandpas living in the house. So up to 10 people can fit in this tent. We call it a family tent.
Yes, I'm Sister Kathy Bonfield, SSND.
Great. And what made St. Martha's decide to participate in this program?
4 years ago, I was at a rally for Darfur, and Shelter Box was there. It was downtown Sarasota. And I saw the Shelter Box, and I said, St. Martha's School can do this. And I'm moderator of our Association of Student Leaders, so we made it an annual project.
Absolutely incredible. And St. Martha's has raised over $4,000 at this point for the program.
For this year?
For this year, yes.
I just got through counting money upstairs, and we're over $6,000 as of right now. Last year we raised $9,000. So we're hoping to exceed that this year.
I think it's incredible. Now tell me, what do you feel happens with the youth here at the school when they start to get back to a program like this?
I think something like Shelterbox gives them a global view of life, not just Sarasota where we have so much. So we try in lots of different ways to stretch the children to realize how blessed they are and what they can do to help somebody. And what Shelterbox does, it allows them to see where things go. They actually see what's going. In the past, we've sent boxes to China, to Swaziland, Niger, Myanmar. So it's really a hands-on thing for them.
Absolutely incredible. And the kids will do this throughout their entire time at St. Martha's.
Well, hopefully, this is my 4th year being kind of the project coordinator, and as long as I'm here, I can plan to continue.
What's been the community response to your participation here at the school?
Outside of the school, I'm not real sure, but here at school, I know it's touched the lives of many families who've been quite generous, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had taken Shelterbox to the workplace.
As someone who has actually started a program and watched it grow into something that's very successful and actually giving back to the world, what would you recommend to another school or to another organization or to a family?
I have shared what I have done, coordinated here with other schools in our diocese, in our area. I just think it's such a wonderful program that it needs to continue.
And do we know what the website for Shelterbox is?
Shelterbox.org.
Great, terrific. Thank you, Sister Kathy.
My name is Emily Caldwell. I go to St. Martha's School and I'm 13 years old.
But you have a really important role.
I am the Commissioner of Global Awareness for St. Martha's School for our leadership program.
Well, what does that mean?
We do a lot of global awareness, like Shelterbox right now. We're helping for Haiti. We've been doing Shelterbox this is our 4th year doing it.
Okay. What does it mean personally for you to be able to work with this organization and to work with students here at St. Martha's to be able to give back to an incredible cause?
It means a lot to me. It means that I'm actually doing something and helping other people also out, not just in our community, but out in the world.
All right, so what is your name?
I'm Elizabeth Reynolds.
Elizabeth Reynolds. Okay, and how old are you?
13.
You're 13. What grade?
8th grade.
8th grade.
Yes.
And what is your role here with the shelter boxes?
Well, I'm in the Association of Student Leaders too.
Okay.
And I'm the Commissioner General.
Okay.
So I get to work with all the groups. So right now it's specifically global awareness for Shelterbox, and this is my 3rd year working on it because I've been in leadership for 3 years, and yeah.
So as someone who's in leadership for the school at such a young age, do you have a vision for what's going to happen next year and the year after next?
Well, since I'm graduating this year, I hope that it keeps going because Emily will be graduating too, who's like the leader of it. And so I hope that someone like takes charge and keeps Shelterbox going because it's such a good organization.
My name's Savannah Sabato, and I'm an 8th grader here at St. Martha's.
Okay, and what role are you playing with the organization right now?
Well, I'm the Assistant Commissioner General of Leadership here, and so we help out with Shelterbox, which is what we're doing right now.
You know, a question that keeps dawning on me is, do you believe that the kids here at St. Martha's can really begin to understand the crisis level that's actually happening right now in Haiti?
Definitely. Like right now we have representatives who do presentations and they explain what happened in Haiti, and the kids really understand. They ask a lot of questions and they really know that we need to help out.
As someone who's in leadership, what would you recommend to someone else who's your age or maybe even younger in terms of helping out with the situation in Haiti?
Well, they can definitely bring Shelterbox to their school.
Okay.
And maybe start something like leadership that we have.
Okay.
Like today we have a dress down day and everyone pays $2 and it goes to Shelterbox and they are wearing the colors of the Haitian flag.
Okay.
So that's something that you can easily do at your school.
So what colors are they wearing?
Red, blue, and yellow.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.